To pull back the curtain a little bit, that we're buying this from another developer who has lost it. A multi-state developer, not a nationwide publicly traded company, but not small potatoes either.
Uh-huh.
And he had partially started 15. The density for 79 is approved. 15
Uh-huh.
of the 31 are halfway built. It's 5 acres total. The zoning is there, but the map is not. So we're kind of picking up there.
Real builds, real decisions. You see the finished houses, and we uncover the steps it took to get there. I'm Krista, here with Michael, and this is Trust the Process podcast, where we talk construction, real estate, and development. We pull back the curtain on the new home industry, the real estate market, and the trends shaping it all. Discover the stories, insights, and expertise behind building a new home. In today's episode, we introduce a major next chapter for Trust Home Builders as we prepare to move into our first multifamily and townhome development. We share how the latest downtown project found us and what it means to step into a partially built site. We also uncover how we're reimagining the product, the buyers that we're designing for, and how flexibility, design, and smart decision-making allow small teams like us to take on big projects like this. So, if you're buying, selling, building, or just curious, this one's for you. Let's jump in. Welcome back to Trust the Process, a podcast where we chat about the construction industry, real estate, new homes, and everything happening in the housing market. So welcome back, Michael, and welcome back to all of you. Thanks for being here. We're going to talk today about, for those of you who follow often, we've dribbled a little bit of information about some of the new projects that we have upcoming this year and some of the land that we have and things that are changing. We are including some multifamily to our repertoire. So that's one of the things that's changing. We're going to continue doing our luxury homes. We love the custom world. We love that buyer, but just adding something a little bit different in a multifamily world. And as home prices go up and, it gets harder and harder for people to get into the housing market, feels like the right time to incorporate some sort of a multifamily product type that will allow a little bit lower price point with the trust flair, of course. So yeah, that's what we are starting into. And so with that, I'm really excited about the multifamily because as you know, I come from a builder that did multifamily. And so from the marketing and sales perspective, I feel like I'm
That's your
excited to be
wheelhouse.
back in
Yeah.
that world. It is. And prior to that, when I was with homes.com, I was an ad executive for homes.com back maybe 10, 15, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, that window in there. And my book of business was in the multifamily sector. So it was condo, townhome, apartment, all rent. And so I managed their online and digital services. And actually at the time we were in print. I guess that kind of dates me, but we were still in, remember you could go to the grocery store and it had, you could grab the book. And so, yes, I created those ads and then, we would track and run the analytics on their accounts. And it was really still just kind of fine tuning that whole website thing when digital marketing was still in its infancy. There's a language that you speak to that multifamily buyer. And so going back into that world kind of touches my roots a little bit in a way that is fun for me. I love the custom homes and I love that demographic too, but something nostalgic about circling back on multifamily and getting to do that again. So that will be fun for me. And with that, there's a lot of, I know for you, Michael, this is a world that Trust has not been in before. So I'm sure there's a lot of trepidation and the way that we've acquired this parcel is unique in itself. So would love to hear more about how we got into it, where we're going with it, your thoughts, feelings, some of the hurdles and obstacles that we may or, are already facing in taking over a project that once belonged to somebody else. So tell us more about it.
Well, I want to start with, thankfully, you're comfortable because I'm terrified.
I didn't say comfortable. I said excited.
Excited. Okay, that's true.
Not necessarily the same, but ready for it. Come what may, it's happening.
Right.
So I'm
it's
ready
like how
to
they say
embrace
the opposite of love is indifference, not hate. It's like, okay, the opposite, terrified, is not excited.
Say, yes.
So yeah, this project found us. That being said, I've wanted to venture into this space for some time, and I wanted to see what we could do as a company, bringing our flair, which is I love the way you use that word, our flair to different price points. And this is a great opportunity to do that. It's also a really unique project in the downtown area of Las Vegas. So it's a very unique buyer. It's not a dime a dozen buyer. It's not somebody who stumbled upon it. It's probably
Mhm.
somebody who is seeking it out. So
Mhm.
therefore, even more reason for it to be a builder like us who's going to build a compelling product, because some of these buyers may materialize, meaning they weren't going to buy anything anyway, but they were
Right.
renting a luxury high rise or renting a luxury apartment or whatever, wanting that downtown
Mhm.
lifestyle. And now they'll consider buying. They weren't going to buy because previously it was a home in the suburbs, 25 miles from anything they want to live near or work
Sure.
or their friends or their walkability. And it's a new product and something compelling to push them to say, I am going to
Mhm.
stretch and look at buying something in the area.
Mhm.
Our
Mhm.
nearest competitors are no one. The only other housing stock are either other similar townhomes, but there's not many, and some very old Vegas rambler homes that
Mhm.
are in disrepair. It's a challenge zip code real
Mhm.
estate wise. The sales comps are definitely not in our favor, but the sales comps are nothing like what we're going to be putting out. Beyond that, you have the mid-rise and luxury apartment market if you're looking at housing
Right.
at large. So that is our buyer. There might be some out-of-state people who are drawn to downtown Las Vegas as a vacation home. I'm not ruling out that we could have a decent amount of retirees who are going to be splitting their time
Mhm.
between
Mhm.
townhome here and their main home in Santa Barbara or wherever, San
Yep.
Diego, and they want something in Vegas for tax reasons, but if they're going to be here,
Yep.
they want to have something close to the strip and they want to be close to the airport. You could probably take the
Yeah.
monorail and a $10 Uber and be from the airport to this house. Um,
Yeah.
so there's an appeal, and we have to make a product compelling to get those people to say, "Oh, we always rent a house here. We always rent
Mhm.
a hotel here. Let's own our own place and keep it
Yeah.
stocked with our stuff and have our, we come here
Mhm.
often enough that we can do that." We have
And
a
to
light,
your point about who that is, so often when you're talking multifamily, you're thinking of an entry level buyer because they're buying a
right?
product type that probably gets them into the market for the first time. That's not necessarily going to be our demographic here.
That
I don't
may
think, I mean, that's not to say we won't have any of that, but I don't think that's who we're going to have primarily.
I,
Oftentimes it's a lifestyle choice more so than it is, a product type. They want to be in that area. They want that minimal lifestyle. Like you said,
I,
they're only here part-time. They want it as a
mhm.
vacation property. So I think we're going to be talking to a very different audience than the typical multifamily product type.
That's a great point. So townhomes generally resonate with the entry level, someone afraid, so either upsizing or downsizing,
Hmm.
and low maintenance cost is a big portion of it. And a lot of what buys townhomes are divorced couples who sell their main home and each buy townhouses. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah,
generally who are attracted to townhouses, and that's a different demographic than what I think we're going to get in this area.
agree. Yeah.
We will get some of it, but I'm purely firing from the hip
Hmm.
here. I'm thinking when we left our walk at the site on Tuesday, I'm thinking it's
Hmm.
probably only going to be about 30% will be that entry level, driven by
Right.
cost, driven by the idea of home ownership is so exciting. These might be third homes, second homes. This might be
They
the
might.
fifth home they've purchased, but maybe it's their primary residence. Move up, move
Yep.
out, that type of thing. Um, Therefore, we have to make our product offering from the
Hmm.
ground up fit that demographic that
Yeah.
goes down to the floor plans and
Yeah.
everything.
And we'll have to
So,
research it entirely, right? We're going to want to be
right,
completely informed. I don't want to enter into this without any absolutes about who's going to be buying. So more
right.
market research, more research into demographic and that type, the product type, the location, the place, I mean, all of
Right.
those pieces. And that's work that you and I will dive into over the next few weeks. It's coming quickly. It's coming
It
more quickly
is.
than I imagined. So I was going to say a few months, but I don't know if we have months on this one.
Well, so to pull back the curtain a little bit, that we're buying this from another developer who has lost it. Um, a multi-state developer, not a nationwide publicly traded company, but not small potatoes either.
Hmm.
And he had partially started 15. The density for 79 is approved. 31 are parceled and recorded as map. They have their own parcel number, their own address. 15 of the 31 are halfway built. The back parcel, so it's 5 acres total. The back parcel is 48. The zoning is there, but the map is not. So we're kind of picking up there. Our first goal is to close on the property, which will be imminently, and getting the permits reactivated. Also working on that as well. If all of that goes according to plan, some of these are going to be hitting the market in spring. Some of those partially built units we can finish very quickly. They're maybe 8-week start to finish. We've got other things that are going to slow us up, the NV Energy power plan, things like that, getting all the utility work done. So we might have to slow roll it a little bit. I hope not too much. I don't want to have completed homes sitting there like sitting ducks without any power or, running on temp power. We can't sell them like that anyway. I'm assuming all the other point of connections are there because you can't really pour your slabs until the sewer connections there, water supply lines are there. So I'm imagining we're going to be good to go on that. Really just power and the permitting. So,
and to give some context, when you drive down that street, they look like homes on this street. I mean, we're not buying dirt. This is a project that's already well underway.
yeah.
There are some buildings that are stucco, the garage doors are on, and I mean they look like dwellings.
6 of the 15 look done from the outside, if not for the lack of the street, curb, gutter, driveways, and landscaping.
Exactly. Yeah.
They look like homes. I mean, and inside they've been a little bit of vandalism, but nothing that we haven't handled in the past. And I mean, we'll get it up to shape quickly. Like I said, we'll probably be limited by the utilities and the connections there versus the homes themselves. So we're hitting the ground running.
We'll
and we're
take it
trying
back down to a raw home and then build it.
Yeah, we'll
up.
remove anything that's damaged, and we're going to end up rewiring and repiping the homes, which we would have likely wanted to do anyway. They have been sitting for about 18 months. So there's a lot of things that we're going to want to do. I'm replacing a good amount of the windows, especially the operable windows, just because I want them to be new and feel like they're buying a new construction home. So that's kind of where we're at with it. And we're going to probably just finish the 15 that are there. I'm stuck with the footprints of those homes for the remaining 16. And the plat map is already kind of drawn for the back 48. So all that is to say is that I'm pretty stuck with the footprints for the floor plans that the original developer had devised, but I'm not going to stick with those floor plans. We're going to create 4 new floor plans. We'll finish out the 15, and then we'll create 4 new floor plans. They're going to be very similar. They're small footprint townhomes. There's only so much I can do with them, but I've got some ideas.
Small though. Square footage isn't bad on them. They're all
they're
really,
18 to 2,200.
Yeah, 18 to 22 that's a really good square footage to work with. And
it's a single family home square footage. Yeah. I mean, they just happen to be connected. So
and
they're
well
used,
not, high ceilings, comfortable spaces.
They're nothing that we can't make fantastic. We can play with some ceiling heights.
And
we can get creative with the floor plans. Maybe some live on the 3rd floor versus currently they all have like a mezzanine level living space. So the first floor is a garage, some sort of flex space and a bedroom. The middle floor, the mezzanine level is all great room, communal space. And then the 3rd floor is owner's suite and other secondary bedrooms. So we're going to get really creative with them, and I'm going to flip some around.
That was fun when we stood there the other day together as a team, and we're standing there talking about it and some of that stuff that you're saying. What if this were on the 3rd floor? What if we were on the 1st floor? How could we So it's fun. It's fun to be able to reimagine the spaces in real time. I know we'll make them great.
They'll be amazing. Yeah, I mean, we'll be stuck with the confines of the footprints, but that's only the footprint, and we can do a lot.
It's so much we can do between
There's
here
a lot
and
we
there.
can do.
Yes.
So let's pretend the main footprint minus the garage is like 600 square feet. The second level is 1,000 to play with, or 800, and then you got another 800. You can see how you can get really creative in those spaces with windows and ceiling heights and layouts.
Even just standing there, we started getting creative on the one shower. Like it has an oversized shower. Well, why wouldn't we turn this into a wet room and put a bathtub in there and put it, I mean, it's just reimagining some of the spaces even within the walls that are already existing.
Right, just with what we have.
Creativity. It's just fun to reimagine.
I agree. I'm excited for it. I'm terrified. We'll get a lot more clarity in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We've gotten a lot of clarity in the last 4 to 5 weeks. We bid on the project originally back in September, and then we thought we lost it to a nationwide home builder. So they came back to us, which either means that nationwide home builder didn't want it or didn't perform for whatever reason. So doesn't bode well, but I'm
Should
not.
we be scared?
Yeah, it's crossed my mind.
I just think they weren't up for the challenge.
Yeah, you know, a nationwide home build for us to control 79 lots in one tract is, I don't want to say once in a lifetime because it's probably now going to unlock a lot more, but it's something that we
It already
couldn't say
has.
no on. Where we didn't. Whereas they're used to controlling 80 to 150 parcel, you know,
Right.
individual building lots, and that's new for us. It's nothing I've
Small
ever.
for them.
Yes, and it's a
Yeah.
unique demographic. They kind of stuck with those footprints, stuck with the 15. Where they're going to demo those 15 and start with their own product. I mean, there's just so many
Right.
unanswered questions that they probably had that I
And they
was
probably
willing to
just
get
wanted the
creative.
land. Really, that was
They wanted the land and
probably
the entitlements.
they wanted
Yeah,
the land, the location,
right. And
which
the
is good.
entitlements that came along with it, all the zoning and
That
it,
yes, yeah,
it is on its surface a killer deal, and I'm sure there's going to be some unknowns that are going to make it a maiming deal, maybe not a killing killer deal, maybe maimed. But I still think there's enough wiggle room in the margins because of the way we're purchasing it that for a builder like us to take on this large of an undertaking, it'll be nice to have that cushion because there's going to be things we run into that we didn't foresee or things that I didn't realize how fast could spiral when you're doing 79 versus we do 4 or 5 or 6 at a time, or just it's different scale that I'm not used to or we're not used to as a company. But that being said,
different
I'm looking.
scale and a different build style.
It's
You know, we
definitely a
talked
different
about
build
that
style.
before. Even just
Yeah.
the timelines are all
Right.
going to be shuffled from what were typical timelines in our custom product type. You know, from the ground up. Even though we're a little bit further along in this because we're taking it over, just the build alone is going to be different than
will.
what it would be on a
And
single family.
it's going to be like how we've been building out at South Shore for 6 years. It's going to be like that. It's going to be something we're building out. I'm thinking conservatively 3 years because that's probably right around 25 to 30 units sold per year, which is a pretty healthy sales pace. Even a nationwide builder would probably not go much faster than that. So I'm seeing a world where it's 4 years by the time we're building out the last few units. And by then the bullet train could be in. I think they're saying 2028 or 2029. I mean, or at least.
Where's that station?
Well, imminently it's going to be in the south part of town, but I think there's a plan to connect it via light rail to downtown. But we'll see. That only makes sense. Yeah. To have it.
It should be, yeah.
That's a gift for Las Vegas to have Brightline come. If we can't finish the thought and get a light rail system like the BART, like the Bay Area Transport that runs in the middle of the median, if we can't come up with something like that, then that's kind of a failing on our side. We as a city or a metro area, but it crosses a lot of jurisdictions.
We've grown to the capacity. We need more than just that monorail down the strip. You know, there needs to be a better central transport system within the city. Anyway.
Agreed. It'd be nice to go from, I think, LA, Rancho Cucamonga, and then maybe somewhere in Hesperia, and then Las Vegas. So it's going to have quite a few stops, and it's Brightline's building it. So anyone who's curious can look up Brightline's rail, and it's already under construction. I mean, there was a world where they thought it was going to finish by the Olympics in LA 2028, and I don't know if we're going to make that, but they were definitely hoping because it'll be huge. But you realize that when you're spanning 3 to 4 years of market, what we're selling in phase 1 for 470s might be 570s or 600s by the time we're out of there. So that is also exciting. And there's also nothing stopping us from, okay, we designed a couple floor plans and let's recycle them. Let's change them. I mean, we have 26 other lots left. We're not stuck with those floor plans. If the needs change and the market changes, we can always kind of zig and zag and make a different product offering.
Exactly. Because we own the land. So
we own the land.
Whatever we decide, we might get halfway through the project and realize that we've had 100 people walk through the door who asked for XYZ. And we could, you know, because of our size, we can flip on a dime and now create that XYZ to serve the need that's being requested out there. So that's really fun. It does lend itself to a really open-ended opportunity.
I agree. I'm very thrilled. Not to overuse the word excited, but I'm very, very excited. Because there's still a creative aspect to it, but there's also the scale that I've always wanted to accomplish, and I didn't think was possible in this decade. I thought maybe that was like, you know, in the 2030s that I could grow the company to that level where we have control over entire tracts. And oddly enough, another townhouse project found us that is a ground up project about 5 miles away.
2 more have.
Two more. So one's for sure.
You open yourself up to new ideas, and all of a sudden,
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it
Yeah.
when it came my way. I'm like, okay, yes, we will do it, and we're doing it as a joint venture, and they've signed their joint venture documents as of yesterday morning. So it is happening, and that's another
Oh, congratulations.
24 most
Yeah.
likely units, and that will be the entry level. That will be price point all the way, just based on where it is. It's also in a little bit of a challenge zip code, but it's an established zip code. There's a lot of housing stock there, which means there's a lot of population in that
Not a lot
area
of land,
and not a lot of
which
land.
is
So
an
it's another infill
advantage.
project, which seems to be our specialty. And
Yeah.
we'll do the best we can within the confines. And
Mhm.
I know that price is going to be a huge, motivator for people in that
Mhm.
area, because they are going to be probably 90% first time home buyers. And if they aren't, they're
Yeah, that'll be
probably
a really different
relocating.
project.
Right.
Yeah.
Could be an older, person who wants to sell their high maintenance home. There's always that possibility, but I
Because
just,
they want low, yeah. No
right.
yard, they don't want the pool, they don't want,
Right.
they want a
And
simple lifestyle, or snowbirds who are only here a portion of the year, or
right.
probably less of that at that parcel. But, it's funny, the last company that I was with, we had primarily a first-time buyer profile, and we had an 84-year-old woman who bought her first home. Her first home ever. I mean, the
Really?
celebration that we had with this woman was so fun. I mean, we celebrate. You always celebrate purchases with anybody, but there's something really unique and special
How
about a first-time home buyer. But that first-time home buyer profile is not just
young?
young anymore. It's, and it has pushed further and further back. It used to be kind of that 25 to 28, 23 to 28. Now, really, it's 34 to 40, right? I mean, it's
That
not,
if you pull the median, it's in your late 30s. You're
yes,
statistically, you're most likely to buy your first home in your late 30s, which
yes.
is not a good sign for the
It's
overall
just
health of the,
it's indicative of the market, right? It's where
yeah.
the world has pushed prices that people just can't get
Especially
in any earlier.
in Sunbelt cities and desirable cities. I mean, if you're in an exurb of a city in Ohio, maybe that's not the case. I know I'm from upstate New York,
Right.
and all my cousins owned houses by the time they were 24 years old, because they were all under $200,000, and they still are, by the way.
Right.
15 years later, their homes have valued, 10% maybe in
Right.
what we see in 2 years, they see in 20 years. So, but
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
so it's also a function of where we live. I mean, Las Vegas is not a cheap city
True.
anymore. The last 10 years, it has. I don't think it's been a cheap city for probably 10 years. For
Right.
certainly the last 4 years and 5 years, uh,
Yeah.
we've outpaced some inland empire cities in California. We've outpaced some Northern California exurbs. We've yeah, we've become a city in our own right in terms of sales price
Yeah.
and the population and amenities. So I guess there's no reason why we would expect home ownership to be any
I
better than the
know.
national averages.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true. So when you say first time home buyer, that's a really broad spectrum of people. Sometimes they're
it
waiting
is.
until, maybe they've gone to college and they're waiting until they get that promotion or the next new job, or they're waiting until they have a partner in a dual income household, or
Yeah.
whatever it might be. But that's 24 homes that will be a pretty diverse opportunity of people to sell to.
It will. I mean, it's definitely something that we'll have to phase in as well, with demand.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. That one's a
and
little further out because it is still dirt.
yes, I did have a meeting with my engineering firm yesterday, and believe it or not, there's a world where we have a map recorded by the end of this year,
Wow.
because the
Okay.
the owners I JV'd with did all the zoning change. So all I have to do is do the drainage, hydrology studies, things like that, water network
Mm-hmm.
analysis, traffic, lay out the map. The zoning's approved. So we're in the fun part now, where we get to kind
Mm-hmm.
of get creative. So
Planning.
believe it or not, it will be started, um, finished and closed out probably before maybe even phase one, the first 31 of downtown is. Because the way the
Well,
buildings are, it's only three buildings it's like 10, 7, and 7.
yeah,
So
24 goes quick.
I can only phase it so much. I can probably do 7, then 10, then 7. Probably an 18-month project.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Sounds big, but it is kind of a get in and get out.
I'm targeting like 370s, 400s. That's kind of, I don't think we'll get much more than $400,000 out of even a big model, even if we went to a 3-story
Mm-hmm.
concept and a
And
couple
they're
of them.
smaller.
They are
Yeah,
smaller.
24-foot, square foot
Yes,
pads. So you're really a narrow home, and so our square footage on those will be significantly less than they are on the downtown project.
correct. Yeah, we're probably looking at, versus 1,800, we're looking at more like 1,300 square
Mm-hmm.
feet of
12,
livable.
13, which is
Yeah.
build a great home in that 11 to 1,400 square foot
Yeah.
space.
And if we can deliver something that's $150,000 below the median sales price for the county and it's new construction,
That's exciting.
I'd be pretty proud of that if we can do it. I mean, we'll
Right?
see how our
That's
build
yes.
costs come in, but yeah, I think we can get there. I'm not super worried about that because I know where we can make adjustments. I don't want to say cuts, but make adjustments to our product offering. We'll still probably be better than where a big production builder would be in that price point.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still
Mm-hmm.
opt for an extra $300 worth of baseboards, so they have 5-inch baseboards versus
Mm-hmm.
2-inch. Yeah, I just know how I am.
Because
Uh,
it's just, yeah, that's
it'll
what
come
you're
out of the
used to.
margin. It won't come to the sell. It won't be trickled up to the sales price. It'll just come out of the margin. I know how I am. So it'll be a compelling product for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
So
exciting. And like you said, it's something to be proud of, to be able to put something in the marketplace that's going to be attainable for people who maybe didn't think they could afford a home. So
it's a passion
it's
of
fun.
I've put it out in the world a year, and I've always wanted to do it when I got into home building, but I put it out, wish cast it into the universe that I want to do more attainable product. And these projects have found me, including our
That's how it
Westridge and
works.
Argos. Now, again, they're twice the median average, twice the median sales price, but we're used to building 4 to 6 times the median sales price.
Right.
And although I love that space, I'm tired of buying $60,000 worth of appliances for one house.
Right.
But it's going to be kind of nice to say, oh, 60,000 bought the whole phase. If we,
About them
let's say we're
all,
doing a phase
right.
of
Just
10 or
different. It's
20.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very different.
So that's what
Fun.
we have going on, and we're teasing it a little bit now, and stay tuned for more. We'll definitely have more
Mm-hmm.
developments, especially once we officially own it. It is ours, it's under contract, and it's just we got some hurdles to jump through, logistically and legally, and
Mm-hmm.
nothing that should throw a major wrench in it, but it's just going through the motions of that. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
we're doing all of our back end stuff to limit our downtime as soon as we do own it, as soon as we start paying interest, trying to limit our downtime on that as well.
Had a meeting out there earlier this week with all of our subcontractors, and just kind of getting them on board. This is what the electrical looks like. This is what it's going to need, so that you can start collecting pricing, make sure that everybody has the time in their schedules and the,
Right.
the labor available to be ready to hit the ground as soon as we sign to own it. So
Yeah, because there are
all
things
of the background.
right. There are things that we can do before our first permit. We can clean up the site. We can get rid of anything that's damaged. There's a lot of things we can do.
We do demo.
Yeah.
We can't do any demo.
We can do demo because of what we're doing. We're not taking down entire structures. We're just removing damaged drywall and leaving,
Right.
cutting access points for wiring and piping and
Yeah.
all those things we can
And
do.
it's been an abandoned site. So there's just
Right.
weeds and there's trash that's blown down the street and all of that kind of stuff. And we've, already got somebody who's going out to just do that part.
Yeah,
But
that'll make
even
it
just
look
that is going to be a huge improvement.
agreed. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it just makes it feel alive when it's not covered in weeds or tumbleweeds and trash.
Right.
And
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we'll have hiccups and
Exciting.
we'll have drama and we're gonna have great security as downtown. I mean, we're gonna have great security, especially until the first few residents start moving in. We're gonna have
Mhm.
great security down there just to make sure we're covered.
And construction sites notoriously have things that walk off.
They do.
It's just, yeah, it's
They
just
do.
part of it.
You have to
Part
have
of it. So that's
yeah.
factored into the margin as well.
Right. It is. Yeah, exactly. You just have to
It is.
plan for
It
it.
is. Doesn't matter where you're building construction site. People want the
Well,
copper, people want the appliances. So having
yeah.
security on site is really the only way that you
there's a
don't
lot of
lose a ton of inventory.
Right. There's a lot of management that comes with that. Right timing things, right timing appliances, and securing the houses, and more on-site
Mhm.
project management. And we're used to kind of having a little bit of a laissez-faire management style with
Mhm.
some of our guard-gated communities where we just know that, man, shoot, the front door. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but a couple of our houses out. I'm going to say everything. We're going to get the addresses and everything. They weren't even locked for a
I'm like,
month.
what are you
I
gonna say?
They weren't even locked for a month. Like, well, we should probably lock these houses at the end of the day. They're fully
know.
done houses. Jeez.
I
just
know.
we've gotten lazy, right? Not lazy, but
Well, you
complacent.
just, yeah, you know that you have guard gated. And out there, obviously, we're not only guard gated, but patrolled. And the patrol knows us. And so they're watching our homes a little bit more carefully. So it really
Right.
isn't completely unattended. But
Right.
as soon as some of those finishes and things start going into it, um, it's time to time to lock them
Secure
up.
them up, and it's just, yeah, a new
But in this
consideration.
case,
Yeah.
we'll have to do it far sooner.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And because it's been abandoned, you and I know what's out there, but even you guys can imagine people have tried to make it a comfortable place for them
Some
when
of our
nobody
first
else is
buyers.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Staying rent free.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, a little cleanup and a little start over on some of them, but it will be a fun challenge, and the
Yeah.
whole team is excited. I know you are, and obviously you can hear that I am, but the whole team
Yeah.
is excited to get started on it. I don't
Even
think one
our
person has
vendors,
said,
our
"Are we crazy?"
everybody's excited. Yeah, everybody is.
Yes, our vendors were
Yeah.
excited when they were there, and
All
yes,
our
so
subs.
we've
Yeah.
definitely got the support.
Yeah.
It'll be a good one.
Hopefully the market's excited. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll keep you guys updated. Obviously, it's going to be taking up a lot of our bandwidth and a lot of our time and energy, and so conversations and new topics and things will come up regularly. So you
Hmm.
can expect to hear a lot more about it as time goes. So this is just the first of many conversations we will be having about this
Hmm.
project and other townhome projects that may come to us in the future. So thanks for your time, Michael. Thank you for your
Thank you.
knowledge. Appreciate it. And thank you guys for being here. And we will see you on the next episode of Trust the Process podcast. Until then, be well. Bye bye.